In the lore of Dallas Cowboys history, few names are more important than Troy Aikman.
Understand that Troy Aikman never failed to show up in a big game.
Never.
He was a Super Bowl MVP. I believe it was Super Bowl 27. Let's remember that. Let's remember that he beat the likes. I don't know if it was Joe Montana or Steve Young. It was one or the other.
35. Harper's breaking away.
You understand? Beat Jim Kelly.
8 touchdown passes according to our figures in the postseason and not a single interception. You picked the right time to peak.
You understand? This guy won 3 Super Bowls in 4 years.
Troy's looking good because of the offense and because how comfortable he feels, the way Norv got him feeling comfortable.
I know what an all-pro looks like.
He's a general of the offense, and he's out there, he's controlling things.
Down the middle, has his man complete.
Ricky Jackson on the rush. Going deep.
Comfortable with that cushion.
He can throw a touch.
Troy Aikman right now is the most accurate passer in the National Football League.
I've never seen a more accurate quarterback.
Touchdown! Aikman rolling out.
Threw the ball down the field to Novacek.
He's the most accurate thrower I think that's ever played the position.
Couldn't be thrown any better.
Dixon at midfield. He's got the sideline. He could go.
Troy's arm is a gift from God.
He was a Cowboy legend, a legend who transcended eras and generations.
He's 6'4", 220 pounds, an All-American boy, a walking bubblegum card.
Troy Aikman is putting on an amazing effort.
The NFL cover boy, and that's why it's hard to believe he exists and isn't a product of sound stages or a lab. You want to say, take this back and break a nose or put a scar on his cheek.
Look at Minuski, 91 coming. He puts his helmet right in Aikman's helmet, and he still not only gets it away, but completes it.
Girls throw their unmentionables at him.
One more.
He's the second coming of Roger Staubach.
I'm going to try to complete a 1,500-mile pass to Drew Pearson in New York.
New wavy lace that you can't eat just one.
And if that's so, there may be 4 more Super Bowls in his resume. He'll never be known as Broadway Troy or the Snake or Hollywood, maybe just Troy Tripp.
Please welcome Troy Aikman. Please welcome Troy Aikman.
He's like right out of central casting. He walks into America's team, the Dallas Cowboys.
Given a choice, I'd prefer to be drafted by a warm weather team.
He's the quarterback. The first pick in the draft has the great Texas name, Troy Aikman.
Aikman was born in Cerritos, California, the son of a welder and a construction foreman. Pop Warner coach Rod Davis saw greatness in a young 8-year-old Troy Aikman.
Oh, I knew he was that good.
9-year-old, you could throw the ball 30 yards.
Aikman was tough even at 10 years old.
First time I ever broke a bone, I was 10 years old, I believe.
At 12 years old, Aikman and his family had to move from California to Henrietta, a small town of 6,000 residents hidden deep in eastern Oklahoma on the back dirt roads of the country.
I'm a-blowing down this old dusty road, Lord, Lord.
Aikman, who lived a cowboy's life on his father's farm, learned the values of determination, discipline, and hard work. As a teenager, Aikman played all sports in Henrietta and excelled in every one of them, but he was at his greatness on the football field. The quarterback for a lowly high school, Aikman became the team's leader, whom some players feared more than their own coach.
For those of us in high school that might sneak out, maybe have a beer or something, if you could find it, we're more worried that if Troy found out about it than if our coaches did.
Henrietta won the last 2 games of the season and made the playoffs for the first time in 30 years. Aikman had success running the option offense. He earned all-state honors, a rocket arm even in high school. With amazing athleticism and size, attracted the attention of legendary head coach Jimmy Johnson. Johnson visited Aikman's home to make his bid, but was outbid by another legendary college coach, Barry Switzer.
His senior year, I actually thought he was going to come to Oklahoma State. I'd been in his home and had visited with his family, and I think Switzer gave him a bill of goods about how much they were going to throw the football.
Aikman wanted to play for Jimmy Johnson at Oklahoma State. Although Barry Switzer had a heavy run-based offense, he convinced Aikman that if he came to Oklahoma, he was going to have the chance to revolutionize his philosophy. In 1984, he became the first freshman to start at quarterback for Oklahoma since World War II.
Led from the tee and to a tee by quarterback Claude Arnold, the Sooners went through the season unbeaten and untied.
The farm kid with the rocket arm had hoped to revolutionize the option offense passing game, but it didn't go as planned. Aikman ran more than he threw. One of his first games on the national level came against Jimmy Johnson's Hurricanes. Barry Switzer let Aikman loose, and he put the country on notice.
The Sooners send out Troy Aikman. Aikman's pretty good size, 6'3", 215. Texas. Last week, Aikman back to throw on first down, goes for the bundle, and it is caught by Keith Jackson. Second down and 7 from the Miami 14. Pass to the corner, good. Touchdown, Oklahoma. They back up now on first down and 20 to their inside the 35 as Aikman drops to the rope. Down the middle where Keith Jackson, the tight end, is Aikman to throw. Wide open, Shepard. And Derek Shepard, who scored Oklahoma's touchdown. Aikman turns upfield for the first down. Gets a block out in front. He's out of bounds at the 21.
Miami has been playing against the pass in practice because they work against each other. But here's Aikman, 6 for 6, 131 yards.
Aikman to throw again, and Jerome Brown's after him, and he's got it. And got a piece of it, and Aikman is not up yet. He got pinched between 230 pounds.
When Oklahoma comes back with the ball, they'll go with a freshman from California,
Jamil Holloway.
Jamil Holloway, one of the most talented option quarterbacks in college history, took Aikman's position and never looked back. The Sooners never lost again and won the world championship that year.
Call it. Holloway keeping on the corner. That's 6.
And the national championship with certainty now belongs to Coach Switzer and his Sooners.
Aikman went into Barry Switzer's office and asked to be transferred to another program. He again had Jimmy Johnson at his doorstep.
So I'm in there and I said, hey, this just isn't working out, and I need to go. I want to go somewhere where I can take advantage of my skills. And you know, you'd like to have at least the coach maybe say, well, let's reconsider this. You know, yeah, you're a real talent. We'd hate to lose you, right? I mean. But then, you know, he said, hey, okay, where do you want to go? You know, he pulls out this drawer. And he says, all right, let's go through the top passing schools in the country. We got Iowa, we got Miami, you know, UCLA, they throw the ball. And
he decided to transfer, and so I called and I said, hey, what can I do to get him to come to University of Miami? I thought he would have been a great player for us at Miami.
But what happened was, there's Jimmy again. Jimmy was the head coach at Miami.
Walsh again, lofting the ball. Irvin is open. Touchdown. And this is history.
So now he's recruiting me again at Miami. I mean, I can't shake this guy. So I'd just taken my UCLA recruiting trip. I'm all set then to go on my recruiting trip the next week to Miami. But I decided I don't need to go to Miami. I've already made up my mind. I'm going to UCLA. Jimmy calls me up and says, hey, we got your trip all planned. You know, you come in and, you know, here's what you'll do. And I said, Coach, I'm sorry, but I said, I'm going to UCLA. And he was not happy about it, you know. So now he had struck out twice.
But Aikman was a California kid who wanted to go back home where his love for football had started. The coach who impressed Aikman most was UCLA's head coach, Terry Donahue.
Yeah, he is someone that has had a major impact on me in my career, but more importantly, me. You know, just the kind of guy he is.
Switzer called UCLA to talk transfer options. Aikman denied Jimmy Johnson for the second time and took his talents to UCLA. And as a junior, he took college by storm. In the second week of the college season of 1987, Aikman once again showed the country why he was a pro prospect. He put on a passing clinic, and almost led the Bruins to an historical win over Nebraska.
Hi again, everybody. I'm Jim Kelly, and welcome, no question, to the game of the day, maybe even to the game of the year, at least until the bowl barrage on New Year's Day.
Troy Aikman, a great quarterback. He's an option quarterback, but an outstanding thrower. He'll be in there for the passing game.
On a look-in pattern. Right. Aikman fires. He's got Anderson at the Aikman. First down for the Bruins at the 39.
Tell you why they call Troy Aikman a pro prospect. He throws this ball before far has even gone downfield. This ball's in the air before he even made that cut, and a perfect pass. That's good defense.
Motion to the top. Blitz is on. Bruins pick it up.
Blitz on. They go to man coverage. He knows exactly where to go. He comes out here to this side.
Anderson left. Craig right. 3rd and 15. They make the draw. The draw.
Talk about accuracy. Whoa, right on the money.
A 1st and 10. Aikman can run to the left if he gets free. Anderson dives out of bounds at the 30. Paco Craig. Aikman out of the pocket, throws against the grain.
I mean, that ball is on the money.
He led the Bruins to a 10-2 record in the 1987 Alua Bowl, where they beat the Florida Gators and a young Emmitt Smith by a score of 20-16.
And the Bruins take over now. Good field position, resting on near the 38.
They throw the ball very well with Aikman being number one. They get the ball outside on a sprint out. He can throw from the pocket. It creates all kinds of problems for a defense.
Gets away from the heat, throws the pass. Oh, what an ouch.
You see all the defensive men doing well, jamming him. He throws it to the inside. Pickard gets his hand up, and an outstanding kick.
Took a pop just as he released it. He's a tough one. He'll hang in there for you, and he's in time, and he paid.
Watch this move right here from a freshman who's playing high school football last year. He's playing with the big boys right now. UCLA has got one of the best defenses in the country.
For Thompson to make the grab.
Well, they
to the end zone. Thompson, he got it! Touchdown!
I'd like to award these trophies as the most valuable players to Troy. Great game. Emmett. Great game. Both of you, I'm sure, will be a lot more in the future. Congratulations.
He was Pac-10 Offensive Player of the Year in 1988, playing before an ABC national television audience, and the 4th largest crowd ever to see the Huskers play.
Scattered amongst the UCLA Blue, and here come the Bruins.
Aikman started the game with a 57-yard strike.
And Aikman's first pass of the ball game goes down the middle with it. Pass is caught by the tight end, Arbuckle. He breaks loose. He's fast. He's on his way. It is touchdown, UCLA. The fullback position now for the Bruins as Aikman keeps it, throws it. Touchdown, UCLA. Aikman back, stands up, throws, pass caught down near the goal line. Touchdown.
Aikman threw for 3 touchdowns. The Bruins routed Nebraska 41-28. The win marked the first win over Nebraska in 4 years, and Donnie Hughes' 100th win as UCLA's head coach.
It's been a big payday all the way around, hasn't it? As Donahue goes up on the shoulders of his team and his staff.
Career victory number 100 is a milestone, and can't remember a team that has been so aggressive all over the field.
Well, we were angry and we were ready to play, and that helps you play well.
And as a senior, he established himself as the top quarterback in the country.
But he did break the UCLA record for completions in a game.
To me, Aikman's the closest thing I've ever seen to John Elway since Elway.
Troy Aikman has all of the physical and mental characteristics of an outstanding pro quarterback. He possesses the arm strength.
A quarterback with a rocket arm.
One of the seniors, UCLA's Troy Aikman, began his career at Oklahoma.
Will score on a touchdown of 70 yards for UCLA.
The height, the body size, the mobility, the intelligence, the courage, all of the things that you look for in a pro quarterback, Troy Aikman had.
But after transferring to the Bruins, he passed his way into the school's record books.
Pinpoint accuracy.
Aikman's size, arm strength, accuracy, and ability to scan the field make him prime pro material.
On to Reggie Moore, touchdown. It's very difficult to defend that sort of a play with the quick arm, the quick release of a quarterback like Troy Aikman. Will he throw it for his third touchdown? Yes, he does. This one goes.
Aikman's 1988 season ended with a 17-3 victory over the Razorbacks in the 1989 Cotton Bowl Classic.
Today, the Cotton Bowl will have a distinct Razorback flavor, and Aikman will get a taste of an Arkansas defense that held high score in Miami to a mere 18 points. And there he is, Troy Aikman, all eyes on the UCLA quarterback.
The game was played in Dallas, and the Dallas media fell in love with Aikman, a legend who had yet to succumb to his demise, had his eye on the young star from UCLA.
All right, Coach.
But Landry was fired before the draft of 1989 by a former Oilman, Jerry Jones.
Tom Landry has been ousted, and on Monday, as the Cowboys minicamp went on as scheduled, Landry's unscheduled departure took place.
The farmer's kid passed for 24 touchdowns and won the 1988 Davey O'Brien Award as the nation's top quarterback. It was the first time that has happened in UCLA history. He was a consensus All-American and finished third in voting for the 1988 Heisman Trophy.
Troy Aikman, you told me you watched this presentation the last couple of years. It was your dream to be here.
Well, it was one of my dreams to come here, just like it is, I think, every other schoolboy kid's dream growing up in America that's ever participated in athletics. And it's a dream also that you never feel will become a reality. And for me to be here tonight is an honor, and I'm just glad to be here.
I got a call the next morning in my hotel room from Gil Brandt, and he said, Troy, I don't care if you throw 7 interceptions in this game. You're going to be our #1 pick.
If given a choice, I'd prefer to be drafted by a warm weather team or the Dallas Cowboys.
College football had a star, and every team in the NFL was on notice, including the Green Bay Packers. Aikman didn't want to go to Green Bay. He was a summer kid from the West Coast. He wasn't used to Green Bay's cold and wet temperatures. Had the Packers lost their last game of the season, that loss would have changed NFL history. Had Aikman gone to Green Bay, Brett Favre would have never became a Packer. Dallas probably wouldn't have been a dynasty, and America's team would have fallen through the hinges in the 90s historical lore. But the Packers won their last game, and Dallas had the first pick of the draft. The next set of events would be a page out of a movie or some kind of written script written from the archives of years past. Standing at Aikman's doorstep again was Jimmy Johnson. Aikman had declined Johnson's invites to Oklahoma State and Miami. But not this time. The stars had aligned, and for the first time in Cowboys history, they used their first pick on a quarterback. A pick that was outside of the choices of both Jimmy Johnson and Troy Aikman. Although Aikman wanted to be a Cowboy and Johnson was the head coach by the time the draft started, it was Jones's decision that kept the promise of Gil Brandt and Tom Landry. The chosen one had gone to Dallas, and a new dawn had arisen.
Cowboys select Troy Aikman, quarterback, UCLA.
You know, we've known Troy for a long, long time. He's a class individual. I think he's a very talented individual. And
Cowboys' new owner and your good friend is with us, and kind of like striking it rich in the oil fields, huh? Getting Aikman right off the bat.
Well, Tom, you know we're thrilled to have him on our club. Our fans deserve the Troy Aikmans if we can get them and have a chance to do it, and we knew we wanted him bad.
Pretty much a dream come true for me. I made no secrets about the fact that I would love to play for the Dallas Cowboys.
But the dawn showed little sunshine in Aikman's first season. He went 0-11 as a starter, but even then, you can see the potential of a star.
Troy Aikman, the Cowboys, comes off 2 very, very hot weeks, John.
You know, I think Troy Aikman is going to be a great quarterback in the National Football League, and he really hasn't even won his first game yet, but you can just see him. In the last 2 weeks, he's getting better.
Zip that he puts on this ball. He's a strong kid. He's 210, 15 pounds. Now watch him throw this ball. I mean, just on the line at about 15, 20 yards. break. Aikman throws a rocket right in there. They like that matchup. But watch where the ball ends up. It couldn't be thrown any better.
It's hit. It's complete to Dixon. It missed 5 weeks of play.
Dallas was 24th in rushing yards that season. Aikman turned the corner in 1990 when Dallas drafted for help at the running back position.
Under the trade that I just described, Dallas selects Emmitt Smith, running back from Florida.
Aikman and Smith were the turning points of the season. Aikman led Dallas to a 7-7 record, 1 game away from the playoffs.
They've really improved that position. Second, short. Aikman for Emmitt Smith. Big hole. And it's a foot race as he goes left. Jerry Gray gives chase. Deep left side, man open. And the pass is caught at the 20. No flags, touchdown Dallas.
Field. Aikman lobs it out. Emmitt Smith in the open. Goes left. Gets a great block from Kelvin Martin on Larry Kelm.
But Aikman got hurt and missed the next 2 games.
Pass. Here it comes now. Number 96, Simmons, making a tackle and simply taking Aikman to the ground cleanly. And Troy right now is in pain.
Dallas ended up missing the playoffs. During those 2 seasons, even in the dark days, Aikman established himself as the leader of the team.
And I think you can see the confidence that he has, not only in his abilities, but the way he feels about this offense.
In 1991, Dallas hired an offensive genius, Norv Turner, a pupil of the legendary Don Coryell.
Going into 91, brought in Norv Turner, which really helped us.
He brought his version of the Air Coryell to Dallas and changed the offensive culture.
Troy bought in right away. He loved the system, so he's telling the guys, oh, you guys are going to like this. It's simpler. It's something we can really do well.
Troy's looking good because of the offense and because how comfortable he feels. The way Norv got him feeling comfortable. He's a general of the offense, and he's out there. He's controlling things.
Under Turner's leadership, in Week 1 versus the Browns, Aikman found his groove.
Aikman comes short, goes across the middle. Aikman zips it at the 50.
Outside, he came inside, and that's what happened.
Cowboys complete the pass to Irvin.
So let the guy get in there.
Aikman just throwing it to the corner. Touchdown!
See, who was that on break to the inside? I don't know how you can cover any better than that.
Some people consider this game the birth of the triplets.
So Smith over 100. Michael Irvin has caught passes for over 100 yards. And Aikman is approaching 300 yards passing.
It was Irvin's first game with 100 yards. That was on the arm of Aikman. He was injured again in Week 12.
Second half for the Cowboys. Aikman hit as he releases. Right leg, this looks bad. Caught under jumpy gathers. Fortunately, it's called a sprained right knee.
Football left. Don't worry about this. Can't go now. We'll do it again some other time.
But Berline took over and won 5 games in a row straight into the postseason.
If you went through the year virtually injury-free and did not make the playoffs, would that be a crushing blow?
It won't happen. We'll be in the playoffs.
Berline beat the Bears in the wild card game.
You don't make it.
Two tight ends to the left. Novacek, touchdown.
Once again, Bill Bates was the middle linebacker in the nickel defense. He's just playing zone, reading Harbaugh's eyes, sees the ball thrown and goes right to it.
Going to RFK and beating Washington, going to Philadelphia and beating Philadelphia, I think that prepared us to come here to Soldiers Field and to play Chicago.
And the Cowboys are going to win their first playoff game since 1982.
The relationship between these two guys, the owner and the coach of the Dallas Cowboys, a little bit like a Plan B movie.
It's a great heritage here, and we can sell that to our players, that being a Dallas Cowboy in the next 1990s and being the team of the 90s is going to be a special thing.
Showtime.
You know, when you ever go after a big gorilla, you don't ever hit him lightly. You hit him with everything you got.
So Johnson decided to stick with him against Detroit, although Aikman was no longer injured.
I feel like I was ready last week, and the knee feels good.
Trailing 17-6 at halftime, Johnson replaced Berline with Aikman. The move was late, and Dallas ended up losing the game.
Cowboys realize now that it's over for them. They also realize that they're going to be back.
This didn't go well with Aikman. He went off in the locker room and was going to go to the media that Monday and forced the Cowboys to trade him on the airways. But Jimmy Johnson stopped him and had an historic meeting that made the Cowboys a powerhouse for the next half a decade. In order for us to understand this meeting, we have to go back to 1989. After Aikman was drafted, he went back home to Oklahoma to celebrate. He was happy that the team he wanted to go to drafted him, but then he received a phone call on his way back to Oklahoma. It was Jerry Jones, informing his new quarterback that they were going to draft Washington State's quarterback Tim Rosenbaugh. But on draft day, a bizarre turn of events happened that caught Aikman by surprise. Instead of drafting Rosenbaugh, they drafted Steve Walsh. Walsh wasn't your normal quarterback. He was the starting quarterback for Miami under Jimmy Johnson when they won the national championship.
The Demons are gone. He's a national championship coach.
It's very difficult not to give Steve Walsh the MVP award because he was tremendous.
This portrait is one of the more recent additions to the Heisman room wall. Of course, it's the portrait of Vinny Testaverde, who 2 years ago won the Heisman Trophy by a huge margin. And if college football fans and Miami Hurricane football fans in particular wondered how you replace a legend, well, that answer was given pretty clearly by the following fall.
He's got as great a poise as I saw Kozar and Kelly and Testaverde come up down there, and I thought they were great quarterbacks. I thought this guy had more poise than any of them I've seen.
This wasn't just another draft pick. Everything took a drastic turn just overnight. It turned into a competition match between Aikman and Walsh. Turns out, the Cowboys had a meeting where the majority of the Miami coaches wanted to start Walsh over Aikman, while the few non-Miami coaches in the room wanted Aikman. This immediately created a hedge between Aikman and Jimmy Johnson, who he initially turned down offers to play for twice before being drafted by the Cowboys. Was this personal? Or was it just business?
The job is really up for grabs. It sure gives me a comfortable feeling when I've got that kind of quality at the key position on your football team.
Johnson was going to trade away Steve Walsh in the middle of the season until Aikman threw a critical interception versus the Redskins that lost the game.
It killed us if it stopped the ball game for us.
Jimmy didn't want to continue the trade because he wasn't ready to go all in on Aikman. He was ready to let the season play out. But Johnson went ahead with the trade and sent Walsh to the Saints. Fast forward back to the meeting Aikman had with Johnson after the playoff loss to Detroit in 1991. Aikman was beyond himself that Johnson hadn't committed to the relationship. It was that day when Johnson finally committed to his quarterback.
He's a unique individual. Whatever it takes to be at the top of his game, whatever it takes to be one of the best in his field, that's what he'll do.
In the opening week of 1992, Dallas played Redskins and shocked the world.
So a big game, even though it's opening night for the Skins against the Dallas team. Dan, 2 years ago, they win 1, then they win 7, then they win 11. What next?
What's next? Well, to listen to Jimmy Johnson and the folks who live here in Dallas, it's nothing less than an appearance in the National Football Conference championship game. Lofty goals, but no team in the league has their star rising quite as quickly as this Dallas Cowboys squad.
They routed the reigning champions in pure dominance.
Goodburn sets up at the back of the end zone, fields the high snap, and the kick is blocked out of the end zone. It's 2-0 Dallas. Isaac Holt with the block. Washington, 3rd and 1 from the 5. Emmitt Smith again, picking his way through for a first down and a touchdown.
To a Dallas Cowboy offensive line that gave up 11 sacks to the Eagles last year. And so far in this game, they are dominating. I mean, dominating.
3rd and 10. Lofted for Harper. Touchdown.
Darrell Green, the victim.
As the Cowboys are in command tonight.
Something was brewing. For the first time in a long time, the dawn had gotten brighter.
Talent was growing up. A lot of youngsters out there with another year under their belt. 11-5 a year ago. They learned an awful lot. Went up and knocked off Chicago. Lost in the playoffs to Detroit. Came away feeling they could beat anyone on a football field.
The feeling was palpable.
These Texans did not do the two-step.
I can't believe it. Look at all that blue up there. Not moving either.
America's team.
I can imagine what it's going to be like when we win the Super Bowl.
and Cowboys Nation knew that they had their quarterback, something that hadn't been seen since the days when legendary Danny White walked the sidelines of Texas Stadium.
I would like to copy myself after it would probably be Roger, but I'm not going to try to do that. If it turns out that way, fine. But I'm going to do the things that Danny White does best and do them the way that I do them the best.
Once Aikman and Johnson committed to each other to win football games, glory was created. Aikman was on fire that year, completing 63% of his passes and passing for 23 touchdowns. He was tied for third in the league in passing touchdowns, third in passing rating, 6 incompletion percentages, and 20 yards away from being second in the league in passing yards. But Aikman's 1992 story wasn't finished. Going into Candlestick Park was a tale of two quarterbacks who was trying to bring back the glory from legends of yesteryears and cement their own legacy into the pavement of championship greatness.
This time they were put out of it when Roger Staubach came in with all the chips on the table and threw 2 touchdown passes in the last 90 seconds.
Looking, throwing in the end zone.
This was a classic all the way through. Each team went back and forth until it seemed like the 49ers finally figured out the Cowboys' offense. When they stopped Smith on the 4th and 1, the young and inexperienced Cowboys were shocked. Momentum had shifted, but the resiliency in Aikman that was created on the back roads of a dusty farm kicked in. And Aikman led his team to the Super Bowl for the first time since 1978. He finally did it. We always talk about Harper on this drive, but the game was won on his shoulders, his calmness, and his ability to follow the task without panic. It was his leadership and rocket arm that finally got Dallas over the hump to compete for the Lombardi Trophy.
And the only thing else I got to say is, how about them Cowboys? Yeah!
In Super Bowl 27 versus another legendary quarterback, Aikman saved his best for last and played an Icon's game in a familiar place, Pasadena, California, his alma mater home stadium, the Rose Bowl.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the greatest show in sport. From the Rose Bowl in Pasadena, California, it's the Bills and the Cowboys in Super Bowl 27.
Aikman was perfect in this game. He had 140 passer rating and threw 4 touchdowns without an interception. He completed 70% of his passes on the 52-17 route of the Buffalo Bills. He was deadly accurate, much like he was for that entire season, and he ran away with the MVP. For that entire postseason, Aikman broke Joe Montana's record of 83 passes without an interception by throwing 89 passes.
Alongside Michael Irvin, he hit Michael for 2 touchdowns late in the second quarter that more or less decided the issue. 8 touchdown passes according to our figures in the postseason and not a single interception. You picked the right time to peak.
Well, our whole team did, really, and it's been a great stretch for the last 3 games, obviously. Everybody's played outstanding. Our defense has played outstanding. And it's a great feeling. We've been dreaming about this for a long time.
It's difficult to find the words of who Aikman was and what made him great. Was it because he was a California kid who lived to live free without worry and conflict and didn't really panic? Or a teenager who grew up on a country ranch with a welder and a construction farmer as a dad, who developed a desire to win and be excellent through hard work and dedication, qualities who made the man who they called a machine? Or maybe these qualities and experiences can't be separated. Maybe he's great because these qualities made him unable to be limited by what we thought a quarterback should be. Maybe this is why he's considered to be the perfect quarterback, because he did it his way, without following the trends. Maybe what made him great was because when the rest wanted to break records, he wanted to win championships. Aikman went on to win 2 more Super Bowls and helped establish a dynasty. Until next time, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel, and as always, thanks for watching.